Grayson's grades as the Eagles have now lost for the 8th time in 10 games. Now, I'll ask you, Scott, the question we have, our poll question, and see if you have an answer to this one, all right? Are you ready?
Sure, fire away.
You're a reasonable guy. All right, Eagles fans, answer this one, okay? The Eagles have enough talent, but Pederson is holding them back, or the Eagles lack talent, and Pederson is doing a good job?
Can I choose the Eagles lack talent and Pederson is holding them back?
But, okay, the reason we asked this question is, how many games are they in on the final possession, on the final drive, and just can't seal the deal? So does that suggest that they just don't have enough talent, but he's doing a really good job to even keep them in games, or that they have enough talent, and because of him, they're losing these games late?
I think he could definitely do a better job of calling some plays that have a better chance of success. I think yesterday, though, the problem was they ran out of ammunition. So many guys were injured, and, you're having tryouts on the sideline for long snapper. I wouldn't blame yesterday on Pederson. I think there's definitely cases to be made against him, and those are the cases that I hope that he sincerely looks at in the offseason and learns a little better on how to manage as a head coach, because I do think they definitely left some wins on the table this year. There's no doubt about that.
Scott, he looks out there and he doesn't even see that Matt Tobin is injured. You saw it, I saw it, everybody in the entire stadium saw it, and he goes, I didn't even realize he was hurt. Yes,
however, you got to remember they were in a bit of a hurry-up situation, and they had no more timeouts left. So what's the alternative? Because I went through that one in my head as well, and I was thinking, well, what would he have done? If Tobin stayed down, you can blame Tobin a little bit too. Look, if you're not able to protect your quarterback, then you need to stay down, because somebody else who at least has both legs functioning properly would be a better option than you not being able to get Kerrigan and getting your quarterback killed.
Now,
but I think there's a 10-second runoff if he does stay down, and in that case, you may only have one play left.
You gave Doug Pederson a B yesterday, and this goes back to the question: did he do a good job to keep them in that game?
I didn't. I thought he used his challenges much better, which it's kind of hard to believe that's what we're kind of nickel and diming here. But I thought he challenged better. I thought it was so he did. I don't think he. In my opinion, I had no problem with the challenges. I felt like he got away from the running game yet again. Although when you've got Barner inactive and you go down Smallwood and Sproles, hard to rely on Ryan Matthews, because if he gets knocked out of the game, then what? So I go back to it's just really hard for me to blame Doug Pederson for that one yesterday. Just that, I will say this, Mike, because I was thinking about that. Why, after you take a shot downfield early and it draws a 44-yard pass interference penalty, why do you not try again at some point?
$1 million question right there.
Well, it's been all year with that, right? You talk about the Aguilar throw too, right?
Yeah, where Aguilar drew the 44-yard pass interference.
And
how bad is that guy that he has to interfere with Aguilar? Just let Aguilar try to drop it.
I was just going to say, but to Aguilar's credit, I've seen him playing harder the last 2 weeks. Now, whether that's confidence, whether that's getting over the mental hump, look, he's still got a long way to go to be a valued receiver on this team. But drawing that penalty early on, to me, that was a big step in the right direction for him, because I honestly, it's hard to say he would have caught it because the ball hits his hands and you just don't know. But he had the guy beat for sure.
Scott, back to Doug Pederson's decisions that he makes or doesn't make. The Kenyon Barner, you brought his name up and him being inactive. He came out today to try and explain some of the logic behind that. But yet, I said to Mike, this is more than one occasion where is it just bad luck that the guy that they've made inactive or the guy they've deactivated, they end up needing because a guy goes down?
What I didn't understand about Barner going down was not so much as a running back, but as a special teams guy. I just felt like, he gives you a lot that you can use on special teams. And when you lose Sproles, and when I know you can't predict what's going to happen injury-wise, but to me, I just thought Barner's not a guy you leave off healthy if he, he's not a guy you make inactive if he's healthy. To me, that one got me. And I saw it at the beginning of the game, and I thought, Kenyon Barner, what did he do? Miss a meeting or something? And evidently, but here's another press conference where Doug Pederson has to take 2 steps backwards and try to, defend things that were done. And, and he brought up having Steven Means as a 6th defensive lineman up there. To me, that's got to come from Jim Schwartz. Jim Schwartz has to go to him and request an extra defensive lineman. And then Doug says, well, who am I going to leave off? How does that happen?
Well, I guess
that was one of those.
Was one of the reasons, though, because of Brooks being out? Did they activate a lineman that typically is down?
No, not that it seemed like to me. I thought that they had all the same ones. Now, you know what? Let me strike that. Andrews was active.
Right, because when Brooks went out, they had to start Sayamala, which means they needed a backup because Sayamala would typically have been the backup, so they had to activate a backup on the offensive line, and I think that's what pushed Barner out. Now, you could say, do I want 4 running backs or an extra defensive end? And for whatever reason, I guess they felt this game that the extra end might be, instead of having 4 running backs. But, I guess that's what it came down to, the extra running back or the extra DN.
Right, and if you're Doug Pederson, you're going, well, I'm only going to run 30% of the time, so why would I need 4 running backs?
Well, right, and I guess one of the reasons that this team has been struggling is because they can't get the pass rush, and part of their whole thing is, well, we got to keep guys fresh, and I guess Schwartz figures, get us an extra fresh body on that defensive front, and maybe we can get a better pass rush. That didn't seem to really play a factor in terms of the rush, but they ended up needing to have Barner, and, Barner will be active this week, Doug said today. Overall, you look at this team at 5-8, and I want to ask you, you've been around the team now, 3 seasons you've been covering the team. You're up there all the time. Do you feel, I got into a conversation with somebody about this last night, they feel that this team has a losing culture. Do you feel around this team that this is a losing organization, a losing culture around the Eagles?
I don't think I'd go there. I would just say that I think they have a snake bit organization right now, poisoned maybe by Chip Kelly, so to speak, in that they can't have the ball bounce their way. Have you noticed that? It's been all season long. It just seems like you said, they're right there at the end of the game. How many times? And the ball can't bounce their way. It won't do something that they need it to, or that one play that needs to be made just doesn't happen. And I wouldn't say that that's losing. I would call it snake bit. And until they can find a way to pull out one of these games at the last second and get over that hump, the old saying of getting the monkey off the back, I feel firmly that that's where this team is. And if they could just shake that monkey, then maybe things would start going their way and the ball would bounce their way a little more frequently, where these losses would be wins.
Sports Bash 97.3 ESPN. 3 more games in Baltimore this week. Scott Grayson's got Grayson's grades right now at 97.3ESPN.com. Check out the full list of grades at our website. Thanks, Scott.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys.